I'm going to begin by talking about a car that's really relevant and one that many of you have been wanting to see. It's a car that we introduced you to very briefly when its production began at its brand new plant in Gujarat. I'm talking about the Ford Figo Aspire. It's a subcompact sedan, which means it sits under 4 meters. Here's our take on it.
The Ford Figo sedan concept was our favorite concept car at the 2014 Auto Expo, and it showed a lot of potential. But Ford was in no rush to launch the car as there was tough rivals to beat in this segment. And so it knew the package had to be better to make a real impression. The Ford Aspire is the production version and now finally ready for launch. And it looks to combine the Fiesta's exciting driving dynamics with a spacious and feature-rich cabin that can match or better the competition. Subcompact sedan designs in the market have so far been a bit uninspiring, thanks mainly to a 4-meter length restriction. But the Ford Aspire brings in fresh appeal, at least from the front. The Aston Martin-inspired grille and swept-back headlamps catch your eye immediately. But what gives it a bolder look are the two bulging lines on the center of the hood. The 14-inch alloys do look a bit small. Maybe a 15-inch wheel would have added more character to the profile. So yes, it's really from the front that the Aspire looks attractive, because as you walk towards the side and the rear, you realize that things get a little bit boring and it reminds you a lot of the compact sedan design characteristics. Although you have some styling elements like the strong lines on the side, the aerodynamic rear view mirror which comes with the indicator lights on the top end version, as well as a little bit of chrome just to give it a premium appeal. And speaking of chrome, you see that trend also catching up with a lot of manufacturers, adding that to give it a premium appeal. Done that on the Ford Aspire as well. On the rear, a large chrome strip right across the badge, something which looks a little over the top. With the Figo hatch launch up next with a similar design language, the Aspire will certainly look to make an impression. The Honda Amaze was our favorite design in this segment, but the Aspire is now our pick with its fresh and contemporary design and even better proportions. The Ford Aspire has 3 engine options, and that includes the 1.5-litre petrol automatic drivetrain borrowed from the Fiesta. We began our drive with a 1.2-litre petrol, knowing fully we had to drive through Udaipur city. And the engine needs to deliver in city traffic, doesn't it? It's a tweaked version of the existing Figo hatch's engine and is refined with smooth and quick acceleration, but it does feel underpowered. So you do have to downshift a lot more than you want. On the highway, the engine takes its time to get to cruising speeds. The 1.2 petrol churns out 87 bhp and 112 Nm of peak torque only at 4000 rpm and comes mated to a 5-speed transmission. The 6-speed automatic gets the more powerful 1.5-litre petrol engine. It's the diesel that's the real star for me. It has everything going right for it. Got smooth acceleration, the engine feels really smooth and refined, and you've got lots and lots of power. So driving it on the highway to long drives to work, or even out on weekend getaways, this is the perfect car to have because you've got lots and lots of fun on offer with the diesel engine. The 1.5-litre diesel engine churns out 98 bhp and a strong 215 Nm of torque. It's also mated to the 5-speed manual transmission. Also worth mentioning are the impressive NVH levels inside the cabin, which cuts out a lot of the diesel engine and road noise, unlike what you see in the Amaze. The gear shifts are quick and precise, adding to the fun behind the wheel, enabled by a healthy amount of mid-range torque. The ground clearance at 174mm makes things easier for the Figo Aspire to tackle potholes, and that figure is also higher than its rivals. Now in the handling department, the Aspire strives to reach the fantastic driving dynamic that the Fiesta offered, and almost does that because the 14-inch wheels, although it might look small from outside, does grip really well and offer great stability at higher speeds. So the overall handling on the car is really good. Steering feel, the new electric power steering is a little light. It's more tuned for city conditions, but it isn't that light that you won't have fun out in the highway. All the engines offer strong fuel efficiency figures, with the diesel leading the pack at over 25 kilometers per litre, the 1.2 petrol offering 18 kilometers per litre, and the automatic just behind at 17 kilometers per litre. So the cabin of the Aspire does feel roomy. The beige on the interiors does help matters to give it a sense of more space. Also the dash feels fairly familiar, the one on the EcoSport and the Fiesta, but you've got a piano black finish just to give it a little bit more premium touch. It's also on the steering wheel, although the one on the door panels kind of sticks out like a store thumb. Also the kind of quality that's used on this is a little suspect, but otherwise the cabin with the beige and black finish does add a lot more premium appeal. Ford also claims that the cabin of the Aspire has lots of storage spaces, about 20 of them to be precise, and the smartest of them that they claim is the one here, where you can store your wallet or possibly your mobile phone and keep it safe. But every time I want to use that mobile phone, I'll have to do this. A bit too safe for me and not so smart. But we do appreciate the effort made to add more storage in the compact cabin and offer more utility, something Honda is very good at too. The steering wheel gets audio controls and the instrument cluster is blue backlit, although looks a little dull in daylight. The leather seats, a segment first, are available on the top end trim. They are nice and comfortable with good under-thigh support. The rear passengers get comfort elements like an armrest and slightly reclining seats. The 2,491 millimeters of wheelbase on the Figo Aspire means overall legroom and headroom isn't an issue in the rear. Although sitting 3 adults at the back will be a squeeze. 359 liters of luggage space is on offer, making it spacious, although below what the rivals offer. Other value adds in the cabin include Ford's voice-activated sync system for the top-end trim. There is a handy My Ford dock on top of the dash in lower and mid-trim variants to place your smartphone to connect and use as an infotainment system. Ford has been very smart in offering dual airbags as standard, with the top end getting 6 airbags. ABS with EBD comes only on the 2 top trims. Localization on the Figo Aspire stands at nearly 80%, and Ford will look to leverage this to offer aggressive pricing. Bookings open by the end of this month, and the car will be launched in the second week of August. The compact sedan that excites is a rare breed these days, and so Ford will no doubt look to boost its India aspirations with this model.
The Ford Figo Aspire. Now this is a car that looks very good for its class, because remember, with each new subcompact sedan we've started to get more proportionate and better looking cars, and the interiors, some nice little touches there, but you've got to react to it and tell me how you like it.